Therapy Army. Whenever you watch this, just come back from Old Trafford, late one. Big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video when you watch it. And Man United are through to the next round against Reading. First half, quite a bit dull. Got into really good situations. Frustrating first half. Obviously, the goal got disallowed. And you know what? They just came to sit back in that first half, soak up pressure. It was difficult to break them down, but I thought we worked them really well. We got into good positions. I thought they made some really good blocks. Second half, it was the Brazilian samba show, kind of. Casemiro, just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Anthony, brilliant pass. What is brilliant pass? And that's probably why Lee Dixon gave him man of the match on the TV. But yeah, it was a weird one being in the stadium. Second half, a lot more exciting. Garnacho, he made changes. And it's so funny because we're thinking he needs to make changes. And then you're like, who's he going to bring on? Today we saw big up Kobe Manu, the Stockport Ince, to become on and watch by the real Ince. It was brilliant. Oh, Erikson in Cruches. Wow. That means Man United have got to sign the player now. So we've got one midfielder out for the season, and then we could have another midfielder out for the season as well. Man United need to go and find a midfield player. Honestly, Manchester United need to. How is that a photo, Alex? Are you sure? Is Erikson on crutches? Let me have a look on Twitter quickly. Let me just have a look on Twitter quickly. Are you sure about that? Let me just have a look, because you know what, I don't want to talk about it as a talking point. If he's on crutches, confirmed then. Wow, we need to change the title of the show, man. Man United must get a player now. Manchester United need to get a player. It's a must. It's an absolute must. Man United need to go and get a midfield player. A midfield player is a must. Honestly, a midfield player is an absolute must. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I just saw it. Big up, Alex. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel. I need to change the title of the show, people, because it just seems so weird that Erikson could be out for the season. If he's on crutches, he could be out for a long time. Man United need to spend money. I'm just quickly going to change the edit. You know what I mean? Crazy. Honestly, guys, I'm trying to change. My laptop is giving me hard. Honestly, that's just. I've got no composure, people. No composure at all. My internet is going mad. So please be patient with me. I don't mean to be silent. I'm just. I'm just trying to write what needs to be done. But big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let me see. Let me just put the chat in here. Save that. That's done. Get out of that. Internet is just taking the piss. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Please let me know. Let me know, people. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Tom, jump on, man. Jump on, because my computer's acting all funny. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What's wrong with me? Jump on, Tom. I've just sent the link. Big up Miasi with a super chat. Well done for beating a pub team. Casado is ours. Don't try to nick him from us. We're not trying to try to nick anybody, mate. At this time, we're not going to try to nick anybody. Big up, Tom. Big up, everybody. Please jump on, Tom. Just got back from the stadium. Cold, wintry, January evening. Man's in pain. I got a black bleeding headache. I pulled the muscle at the back of my head, and I've got an absolute banging headache. So big up to you. And then Twitter's messing me around, and everything is going jumping. But big up. So I'll stop moaning, shall I? Shall I stop moaning? Better be happy. Stop moaning, and I'll get on with the show. I don't know who can somebody ban that guy there? I meant to post a link for the show. Tom, jump on. If anybody wants to come and call in, happy to chat to you all. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, Malcolm, talk to me. How did you see that game tonight? Hello, Malcolm. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just give me a few seconds, but I'm filming right now. But
no worries. Nah, Man United not gonna bid for him. Yeah, Monadine. There we go. New nickname. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. But you know, Erikson's on crutches, people. Man United need to sign a player. We need to sign a midfield player straight away. Honestly, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But it is what it is. How you doing, Tom? How did you see that? I'm just gonna tweet about Casemiro. But apparently he's on crutches.
Who, Casemiro?
No, Erikson.
Yeah, with the tackle with Carroll.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure we'll get into it about this referee, man. I don't know what sort of refereeing qualification he's got, but I don't know how he's got a job by the FA if you don't designate scissors. I don't even know what to call it. It was a 2-footer, wasn't it? At the end of the day, you do that in Sunday. I've seen people get sent off for stuff like that. At the end of the day, it was the ball had already moved and gone.
Yeah.
And completely just 2-footed him. You've got I don't even know how tall Andy Carroll is. I think he's about 6'4", probably nearly 200 pounds sort of leatherweight, 34-year-old coming at you 2-footing you like that. And you've got someone like Erikson, and it doesn't surprise, lack of a leaner frame. Doesn't surprise me if he's gone walking off on crutches.
Yeah.
But listen, if that's the case, then I think they need to delve into this loan market a lot more intensively, and you need to get somebody on loan because you've got Erikson on the treatment table potentially on crutches, and if it's on crutches, that's serious. That's weeks, months potentially. That's crucial time with the running that we've got. You've then also got Donny van de Beek out, so suddenly we are
3 days left. Is it 3 days left of the transfer? 3 days.
I think so. Well, we're on the 20. What are we on today? 28th. So yeah, three days. Yeah. So listen, there's some good loan deals out there that you can do for a midfielder. There's the simplicities are there to go and do it, but no, if that is with Erikson, I think it's a blow. Not in particular just because of his qualities, but I think even in terms of the set pieces as well, the corners. Like I think he's probably one of the only players that I know in our team that can get it actually across deep into the box. I saw Anthony take one of the corners today. Couldn't even get it past the first bloody man. You had same. Bruno. We've seen it where he can't get it past the first man, or it's not a in swinging sort of corner or a crossing ball. But listen, like I just think the whole officiating tonight, albeit that we won, the whole officiating was shocking. Let's be honest. Some of those decisions that were made out there, like fouls for us and against us, I will be fair in saying I thought it was disgraceful, because some of the incidents, like you have players that are pushing them down towards the end, like towards the end of the game. Lindelof went down the actual sort of pathway, and a player just pushed him off of it, and he's gone on over and tweaked his ankle. Like you look at little things like that, and you think you basically just pushed him down the whole thing. It was like an Ashley Young job on Di Maria, like he did in that Champions League game. That's the sort of like the thought that I got back in that game, and then Di Maria was out for a couple of weeks due to it. But the only, like we say with the whole thing is this whole transfer window is hijack FC, and you can hijack a couple of midfield deals out there. Weston McKennie for me is one of them that you can go and do with Juventus. You can go and hijack that deal before he goes to Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me you can't offer Juventus a loan deal more better than Leeds United? Come on. Yeah. And I think he's going to come, regardless of there's an American coach there and he's an American international player. He'd come to Man United on a loan for 6 months, try and impress and potentially get a permanent move. Why can't you do it? What? You haven't got... Yeah, we haven't got the treasure chest to go out there and buy somebody. Because if we had the treasure chest, I think we'd be in this bidding for Moses Caicedo at the moment. Mm-hmm. If we had the treasure chest, but we don't. So go for the next best thing. The next best low market option out there is a Weston McKennie, somebody like that. I know you said about obviously the Trossard deal, which was potentially an option that we could have done. We didn't. But at the end of the day, he's keeping a lot of the players in. I think Ten Hag, in a way, he's scared to loan any players out because of the fact of he knows the squad's as thin and tight as it is already. He can't really afford to loan anybody out in any area of the field at all. Mm-hmm. Same thing where they've had, an offer from West Ham for Harry Maguire. They had an offer from Newcastle for McTominay. These players, I think Ten Hag would ideally like to get rid of potentially in the summer. And he would probably get rid of them now if he had the guarantees and assurances that he can go up there and buy replacements or look at options or alternatives. He probably would get rid of some of the squad and thin it down. But he's basically trying to ball on a budget at the moment. He's balling, but he doesn't even have any finances to ball with. Mm-hmm. He's just got a squad that's whistled down, thinned, and like you say with Erikson, his quality, like Young Gabs is saying here, his quality and creativeness, the football IQ is what we're going to miss in that midfield. If he is out, if he's on crutches, I would say that's 4 to 6 weeks. That's just as a minimum. 4 to 6 weeks if you're on crutches.
I agree. Listen, I agree. But what did you think of the game?
The game itself, I thought it was good. I thought, to be fair, in the first half, Reading gave us the game that we all expected. I thought they was going to sit in deep, play the low block, the 5 at the back and then 3 in front. Yeah. That and the sort of pass that we actually opened them up in the end for the goal that actually got disallowed in the end was the sort of goal that you needed to do. You needed to play the diagonal pass overwards. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there was the deflection thing that happened. I mean, there was, previous round with Liverpool again in the Wolves tie. I mean, Mo Salah's goal was the exact same thing, and they allowed it, did they not? And then you saw it come off of, the Reading player, and then loops over to Rashford, and then the ball goes over the line. I mean, but albeit it's offside, does it matter? It's come off of an opposition player, hasn't it? But obviously, there's phases of player and things like that. But listen, Casemiro, we can't really gas it up because of the opposition that we've played against, but in terms of he's supposed to be this defensive midfielder, the guy's won 4 Champions League medals, but ever since he's been at Man United, I think he's had the biggest smile on his face. I don't know what it is. I just think there's some players and they just come into a club and they just embed themselves in the culture, in the city and the lifestyle, and he's definitely done that.
But Tom, also, let's be honest, the 5-year contract helps because nobody else was going to give him that.
Well, obviously the 5-year contract
and almost doubling his wages as well.
And the wages, obviously, these things are going to help effectively to corner somebody out of a deal and out of a contract. But at the end of the day, he's coming in and you pay what you pay him to get the performance that you do at the end of the day. And he wasn't making them sort of runs that he made today, for example, in Real Madrid. That's what Luka Modric was there for, or Toni Kroos was there for. Or, Valverde, these kind of players, Tchouaméni, that's what those players are there for, to do those sort of runs. He didn't have that opportunity to do that in the sort of Real Madrid system that he had. I think He's got, I don't even know, like 9 goal contributions this season, like 5 goals, 4 assists, something like that. I think he barely even averaged 4 goal involvements in all the last season for Real Madrid. So I think as an overall team player, I think we're seeing a lot better of him. But at the end of the day, I think you've got to wrap these players in cotton wool at the moment. And listen, Ten Hag, he's trying to fight on all fronts, isn't he, Ten Hag, at the moment? And we've got no players to rotate or fight with.
And this is the thing. We've got 10 games in 30 days. It's going to go. Malcolm, are you there? How did you see the game tonight, Malcolm? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you, man? Are you out and about? Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. I'm actually like in a little like working space, you know what I mean, on the campus. So I was getting some work. I was getting work done, but I watched the game in between. So
checking out Saturday night.
Come on.
Saturday night getting work done.
Oh, come on.
Mac and cheese and all that.
Yeah. I'd say first half. I'd say we were poor. We should. I don't think we took our chances well, but yeah. First half, second half, well, we looked more comfortable with the ball and everything. I think this has probably been one of Anthony's better performances of late. But however, what I would say is that I think we all know he likes to shoot with his left foot and everything. But I don't know. I feel like he does it. I think he does it too much to a point where like sometimes I'm questioning whether is it necessary to even shoot from that distance? Like
you know
what I mean? Like I feel like at times when he would set himself up to shoot, I'm like,
he needs to pass the ball.
You know what I mean? I don't think you really need to do that. You know what I mean? Like, we know how good you are with the left foot. We know you like to shoot with it, but sometimes you just gotta like,
calm down.
Calm down. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I would say for Anthony. Just kind of like.
Did you like his pass for Casemiro? I thought that was a brilliant.
Oh yeah, that was a brilliant pass.
That was a brilliant pass, and a brilliant chip. I mean, to have the composure from there, Casemiro, brilliant composure. And people say it's Reading, but at the end of the day, Man United was struggling to score against Reading in that first half. We were got in good positions, but we weren't opening them up. Guys, there's only 115 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the notification because it lets you know when the next live. But for me, I think the breaking news coming out of that game, let me just get to this. Big up Abdullahi Maya says, this is Maguire. Maguire says, predicament does not want to stay for long. He told ITV, I'm a player, 29 years old. I've really been in, and I haven't really been in this position in my career. So it's a position that I don't want to get used to. But it's parcel of football. I'm working out every day. I'm pushing. I'm training well. And when my chance comes, I need to take it. Yeah, fair play. I think, you know what? He could have moaned tonight, to be fair. He could have moaned at all. He could have moaned, but he said no. And to be fair, Erik ten Hag is not the type of man that's going to take you moaning. You're going to have to prove it on a training ground. And when you're going to have to take it. Big up, Beefy Bully says, Nuruddin, will you take Royce unknown? Beefy Bully, what are you smoking? Because you need to lay it off. I don't know if you're an Arsenal fan. I don't know if you're a United fan. I don't know who you support. But I think even if you're a United fan, I'm worried about you. I'm going to be really worried about you. And I think that you need to be smoking, whatever you're smoking, whatever you're drinking, that needs to be tested, needs to be checked. Because Michael Royce is 33-year-old player who's so injury prone. It's unbelievable. He's so injury prone. 10 years ago, maybe when he was 23. Not now. No chance. I'd rather take him. You know what, Beefy Bully? I want to know what your injury record is and how old you are, because I'd rather take you on loan than Royce. Absolutely crazy. It is crazy. Big up to everyone. Nuruddin has to always mention that. Mention what? Big up, man. What do I always have to mention? Big up, everybody. Talk to me, Splash. What do I have to mention?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But what I don't even know. What why were we even linked to Royce in the first place? Like that's
Because his
that
agents were
just
at the Manchester
Yeah, and
derby.
Royce
That's
is
the
injured
reason.
oh my
anyway.
god.
If I'm not mistaken, he's injured
Mm.
anyway. Like he's injured. Like it's crazy. It's
Nah,
absolutely crazy.
it just kind of just sounded very random to me, man. Like Marco
Yeah.
Royce, injury prone. You know what I mean? Doesn't really stuff for Dortmund and everything. So I don't know, man. It was really
Yeah.
really really weird.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
have you seen this? It's going to be the cup final, the League Cup final, 3 days after we play Barcelona away.
Oh
We can't play the first
wow.
team in the Europa League. Well, it depends, innit? It
Oh,
depends if we're
yeah.
losing that first leg, if we're
Mm.
already out. It all depends on anything, but it'll be what it is. Listen, well, unless they turn Reece James into a centre half, then Gusto's going to be holding bench for a long time at Chelsea, unless Reece James's injury is like a long injury. Big up even on a match day. Listen, somebody tried a calling called Malu. I'm sorry, Malu, you're gonna have to show your face. If you wanna hit the tap pit again, no problem. But big up to everybody, man. Big up to every one of you. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Nearly 120 of you in here. Yeah, I mean, I want to get knocked out by Barca, and hopefully I don't care about Europa.
Oh come on.
What do you think
I
about
know
Frimpong
what this
as
guy's
a
saying.
right back? Well, to be fair, you know
Huh?
what? I'm not going to claim to have watched Frimpong. I've scouted and watched Gusto, but I've never watched Frimpong. So I don't know.
He is a good player, to be fair to him.
Dembele injury or Dembele get injured today?
I think there's a risk that he might miss the first leg or something like that from what I've read anyway. But listen, he's always injury prone until, let's be honest.
Who's talking about? Listen, Malcolm can eat what he wants. He can do whatever he wants, man. About what you guys, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are strange in the chat. It's crazy. Nuruddin, look at Vanderson from Monaco, right back. Listen, we don't need a right back right now. We need 2 midfielders. I need you guys to help me come up with 2 midfielders. The only midfielder I know,
Weston McKennie for me.
It's Gravenberch by Munich.
They're not prepared to let him go, though. That's the problem.
I would go to Fiorentina and try to get Amrabat.
With what money, though? This is the problem.
Loan, maybe.
They ain't going to loan a player that's a first-team player, though. That's the problem.
Well, you know what? We'll have to give them a loan. Send Palestri on loan to them. Do something. Tillemans is, to me, Yuri Tillemans is too passive, man. He's too passive. Off the ball, he doesn't offer anything. On the ball, he's really good, but off the ball, he doesn't run back or anything. He doesn't do anything off the ball. So I don't know. I just don't like Yuri Tillemans. I actually don't. I don't know how he would fit into the system. But yeah. There's somebody on here. Please, mod, try to get rid of them. I'm trying my hard try to get rid of these people.
The only thing that I'm going to say, though, with the whole sort of midfield sort of debacle at the moment is, if they aren't going to go for a loan option there, the only thing that I think Ten Hag can really do is he's going to have to look at some of the young players that we have who play midfield and think, can I potentially like utilize them, and I'm going to have to give them minutes or something. Like you saw Kobe Maino tonight, for example, get some minutes. Rather than playing 20 minutes in a game, he might have to play 45 minutes or something like that, because in this sort of running, you're going to pick up a couple of injuries, or players are going to miss days or a week or two out with fatigue or whatever sort of cursing injury that they're going to have. But there's just a complete shambles from top to bottom with the whole situation that we have, because I don't understand. We went into this whole season with what I'd say about 7 midfielders, if you include like Van der Beek, Fred, McTominay, Casemiro, Bruno, Erikson. You went in there with like 7 first-team midfielders. You can barely even field like 4 or 5 of them now. Like, and 3 of them have to play in every game, and then you only have 2 of the other options, which are probably going to come off the bench. Like you say, Iqbal, for example. This is what I'm saying. You can utilise players who You can give them 20 minutes here, 30, 40 minutes here, this game, that game. If we're winning 3-0 and cruising, why not? What have we got to lose? Like, there's no risk in the game really. At the end of the day,
no. But you know what, Tom? Guys, that youngsters to throw the youngsters in to be. I mean,
this
we
is
are
what I'm
all
saying. We have
fans,
to be up in games. We have to get the upper hand in games now.
but we're not. We're struggling, and it's down to the bare bones now. I mean, Kobe Manu played tonight. He played 17 minutes or whatever, nearly 20 minutes. So big up to him. Stockport Incy, while watched by the proper Incy. It was really fascinating and strange at the same time. But at the end of the day, these young players are developmental players. They're not ready. They're not.
Well, this is the problem, though. But
You know what, Iqbal? He's falling down the pecking order. He's falling.
Well, we're on the bone. This is the problem, though, Nuruddin. We're on the bones of his arse at the moment. And it's basically the quote that I just said. Ten Hag's trying to ball on a budget. He's got honestly nothing. It's like he wants to shop in, at the Shard, or he wants to shop at one of the most luxurious hotels wherever, and he's trying to stay in bloody Premier Inn at the moment. This is how bad it is.
It's crazy.
You can't you can't think that you can shop at Waitrose in the market, because he would want players like Frankie de Jong in the summer, and now we're scraping around in the loan market and we don't even have any names at the moment. This is how bad it is.
It's crazy. Big up MJ and big up Windy. Harry Wings at Sampdoria. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Would you take him?
But you know what? Spurs are never gonna load him out because he's still a Spurs player, isn't he?
He's got but he's got injury records though. That's what I don't like about it.
He's fine. Locatelli would be brilliant from Juventus, but Juventus are not going to let him go, are they? They're not going to let him go.
Well, they've already let McKennie go, aren't they? So I don't see why they'd let him go. I still think this McKennie deal. Listen, you can hear Fabrizio say, "Here we go," and all this rubbish and that. But he said this before about loads of players, and then they do a complete U-turn. The Cody Gakpo deal, completely always coming to Man United, blah blah blah. Completely did flip U-turn in 48 hours. Or he's signed for Liverpool. Well, where's your misinformation come from? Same thing like we've had with the Mudryk deal. He's going to Arsenal for 6 months. He said he was going to Arsenal. Chelsea come in, bang, gone. See you later. Oh, Chelsea were in for him all along and all this rubbish. It's bollocks at the end of the day. But there's so many players that you can easily pick up out there in the loan market. If Manchester United actually did this proper due diligence, and you have people like John Murtough with the operation, but all the BS that you already get is we overspent in the summer, therefore the funds are not available for January. But you say, and you come out with all your journalistic contacts who come out and spread to the media and spread to football fans and Man United fans on Twitter or wherever, or in the news articles stating, "Oh, we've got the opportunities in the loan market. We're scouting the loan market." This, that, the other. Well, if you're scouting the loan market, where's the players then? Where's the shortlist? And if the finances were there, I'm telling you now, Wout Weghorst would not be anywhere near Manchester United, even as a loan option. Because there is better loan options out there than Wout Weghorst at the moment. Albeit he's coming in and done a solid job for us. Let's be honest, you give Ten Hag a more modelled, young sort of forward who you can buy with potentially an obligational loan or an option loan, I think he would have taken it. If they would have prepared to stumble more cash and negotiate hard with Atletico, I think he'd have took João Felix over Wout Weghorst, even if he's not a striker. And he would have played him false nine, but we don't have negotiators. We don't have. I don't even know what we've got at the moment. We're scraping, and this is what I mean. We're scraping around.
Tom Keane was helping us, wasn't he? And now he's.
Oh yeah, the lawyer. Well, he's a lawyer. This is the thing. You've had a lawyer doing negotiating. He had no experience.
Listen, to be fair, he's also an agent as well. He's a negotiator as well. He's
an agent negotiator.
He's like a lawyer. He's trained as a lawyer, stroke negotiator as well. But now,
the only problem is his qualification. When you search him up and everything, his qualification and basis is around law, not football. He's got no sporting qualification at all.
Football contracts.
If that's the case, why did we never see him pictured in Barcelona negotiating for Frankie de Jong or cheering for Rabiot? It was all Murtough and Arnold and all this rubbish, and all investors will go down the pub, have a few pints and BS over fans. Or we've got investment coming in, the money's ready to go, blah, blah, blah. It's rubbish.
Yeah, listen.
And we're in the crisis that we're in.
100%. Alex is saying that if you listen, I've just put the tweet out there, and I'll tell you what I said. Exactly what I said. If Manchester United don't sign a 2 midfielders in the next, because we've got 2 players injured now in midfield, key area of the football pitch where we struggle. So, and we can't take any more injuries in that department. We can't afford any more injuries. So, if Man United do not go and sign the Glazers, Richard Arnold, John Murtagh, they've all written off the season in my eyes.
Honestly, if the whole season capitulates, you don't win the Carabao Cup, you don't win FA Cup, you don't get top 4 Europa League, nothing, you don't get into the Champions League, the failure will not lie with Erik ten Hag, let's put it that way. Because if you had new owners in who had proper investment and cash ready to go, they would invest now. Whether it's 3 days left or whatever, they would invest now. Because they know that if we invest now, we would make our money back that we invest by getting into the top 4 in the summer. And the TV rights that we would get from the Champions League would pay for what we've already made, what we've already spent, and we'd probably make even profit out of it from what we've spent in January.
You know who I'd take if we could get him on loan, because I saw the way he played in a deeper role for France, and I know obviously international football is a lot slower, but I'll take Griezmann right now as a deep lying, like playmaking midfield player.
Well, it's like the work rate as well, isn't it?
I don't know. Is he starting for Atletico Madrid? Did he start the other night in the derby?
There's like some clauses in his contract where they can play certain minutes or some. There's some shite clauses that are in a deal. I don't know if it was. I think he played a couple of minutes though, didn't he?
Yeah, Barcelona are not going to loan him to us because we're playing against them. So any of our top 6 in the Premier League are not going to loan us any players. We need to look internationally. We need to look at Juventus. We need to look at.
This is what I mean. You need to look at clubs that.
We need to look at Real Madrid, who's on the bench in midfield. Can we get a loan?
Camavinga, for example, he's not getting any games at all. What you got to lose? Real Madrid, I think they'd give you him for 6 months if you give him a decent. If you give him a decent loan fee, it's not like they need him at the moment. They're not even playing him. And this is what I mean, though. Like we're not doing anything. We're sitting on his fingers and playing with string at the moment.
Yeah, listen, Logan. For 6 months loan, I'll take him. 5 months now. It's going to be 5 months loan. 4 months loan. I'll take him. Of course, he's Simmer frame, but I'll take Griezmann in terms of the wages are not. But that's what I'm saying to you. I'm struggling to think. Camavinga, 100%. I'll take Camavinga. I'll take Camavinga right now. I'll take him. I'll take Camavinga right now. If we can get him on loan, maybe United need to try that, because even I'm looking at like Ajax. I'm looking at Germany. Well, Gravenberch is there. Who else? What other midfielders are on the bench for Dortmund?
There's Sabitzer at Bayern Munich you could potentially get on loan, but he's not been playing great, has he?
No, he's not been.
No.
Yeah.
This is the problem, though. But
Kessie, we can go and get Kessie. He's not been playing lately, has he?
The only thing that I'm going to say, though, with all this, with the marketing and everything, and the actual scouting processes, if Ten Hag had the finances to do it, he would chase somebody like a Danny Olmo right now. Yeah. Somebody who's got the same creative credentials as an Erikson, just on a younger model. That's the sort of profile of player that we need. But to get that player on a loan deal, and we know Man United move like slugs, don't they? They ain't going to negotiate any loan deal in 3 days. It takes them nearly all summer to try and negotiate just one transfer. The Frankie de Jong case is simple enough. 3 months ago, the player said he didn't want to come, and then you're still negotiating for a player that didn't want to come.
Yeah.
What sort of a football club is that? Then you go from De Jong to Rabiot to players like Arnautovic to then the levels of Casemiro and stuff like. Where's the process? There's no process.
It's Panic FC, innit?
Panicking.
Windy Grant makes a really poignant point, and I think you've made this throughout the past couple of months, or in the summer. You made this a lot, Tom. When you think about it, we've lost Pogba, Matic, Matagana, Lingard, Pereira in midfield, and picked up Casemiro and Erikson.
Well, listen, the loan market, there was literally, you could have got so many free agents in that market. There was Kamara, who went to Aston Villa for free. That was a player that you could have easily got in this deal. Kessie.
What's the one that's playing for us, for Chelsea at the moment? He's on loan, isn't he?
Oh,
did they buy him?
Zakaria.
Yes, Zakaria. Did they buy him?
Yeah.
No, I think he's on loan.
No, I think he's on loan.
Yeah.
On loan.
To me, Kessie's a good shout. Listen, Frank Kessie's a good shout.
Yeah. He hasn't been playing a lot for Barcelona, though. I've noticed.
Yeah.
So if we could get him, that'd be really
We
good.
can't get Camavinga because Camavinga is played
Nah.
28 games. Wow, he's played a lot.
Oh, so he's
Camavinga
playing
played the other
games.
night. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't think that he was playing the mini games.
Something
Ceballos
else.
didn't.
Ceballos?
Nah, he was shit at
Nah.
Arsenal. I'm sorry.
Nah, not Ceballos, man.
I'm sorry.
Nah. I mean, I know we could probably try for like the go to the league and maybe get like a Parejo or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah,
or get one of the midfielders from Sevilla.
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
listen, big up Beef Bully. That's a good point. He played that tonight. He played that when we took off Bruno. Anthony dropped into that number 10 role, and Palestri went on the right. So that could be an idea. But playing that now, what we have to do then, play players out of position. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a funny one. But that's a good point. No, we should try Anthony in the hole behind the strikers. He might work to cover Erikson. And then play Fred McTominay. Listen, I don't want to go back to Fred McTominay though. You know the level of quality, Beefy Bully. We need loan signings. Kessie, to me, is a good shout. You know, Gravenberch, I watched him in the Champions League. You know, I thought he was decent. But Kessie, for me, is the guy that I know is an absolute warrior. Kessie's another warrior. Can Man United go and get Kessie on loan?
Let me just rephrase this sort of scenario here. For example, if Man United were in the financial crisis that Barcelona, Juventus, all these clubs are in, you would have every single Jackanory club out there who would be in this window getting any sort of player that Man United have of a valuable sort of player, and they would try and get a cut price deal for them or a loan deal. You're telling me you wouldn't have a you wouldn't have a club coming for Casemiro on a cut price deal? Martinez, cut price deal, Varane, De Gea, whoever, you know, Rashford in the form that he's in, you wouldn't have clubs queuing up for these sort of players. But we can't go out there and take advantage of these other football clubs, even if it is on a loan basis, because I'll tell you now, and I'll tell you one player anyway, that you can save £4.5 million on if you terminated his contract in 3 days. It takes about 3 days to terminate a law-abiding contract in sports and in football. 3 days. You could save £4.5 million per year for a player who doesn't play. I've not even seen at the training ground in any sort of pictures or anything. His name's Phil Jones. I don't think he's ever going to get anywhere near Manchester United ever again under this manager. And he earns £4.5 million per year. That's a loan signing there. That's a loan fee for a player. 4.5 million. Like, it's easy. Finances. If you need to do the hard biding thing, terminate people. What's Phil Jones actually going to give you? Nothing. He's never going to play. Are you seriously telling me you're going to use him as a squad rotation player at the moment? I don't think so. I think he'd rather use players like Twanzebe when they come back from fitness.
Well, I mean, he's really injury prone.
These players are lost in action. That's the problem that we're in.
This is it. Big up. We might need a whole new medical team as well, honestly, because players just long term out.
Oh, come on! Whoever when we get new owners and whatever, they're going to change. They're going to make everything, aren't they?
We need to. You know what? Even that, we need to help the people out who do the injury prevention work. That's what we need to help out, guys.
Like physio, physio guys.
Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Kessie, obviously, Barca financially, mess financially, they need to get players off their books. Well, for 6 months, they might do. Juve won't let anything. He says, some says anything now. They will try their best to squeeze a Europa League spot, so they won't loan. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, to the end of the February, let's see if we can get to 7,000 people. So tell your nan, tell a friend, to tell a friend, grab a friend, tell them to become part of the therapy. May. Therapy. Where are you, therapy? Let's play having you. Let's play on you. Shout out Delia Smith if she's watching. Is it Delia Smith? Zakaria, big up. Some Muppet, some Reading fan, as I'm walking out the stadium, shouted, Norwich, Norwich. And I'm like, I just pulled him aside. I said, do you know who are Newton Heath are? He's like, no, I don't know. And I don't want to know. Well, Newton Heath, this is the original club before even there was a football club called Norwich. So hold tight, 3-1. See you later. And he looked at me strange. Hold tight, Tom. Listen, I'm going to wrap it up. To me, the biggest thing for me is that Erikson is injured now. Can Man United loan a player? I'm going to go to you. Let me just get this super chat. HKN Music. It says Erikson's injured. That's how it is, bro. That's what I'm talking about. We're just talking about it now, HKN Music. We're talking about who could be the person that can replace him. I think we could go and get Kessie on loan. He's on the bench. He's on the bench there. Kessie, he's better than McTominay. He's better than Fred. And where was McTominay tonight? Was McTominay even in the squad? Was he on the bench? Was McTominay on the bench tonight? I don't think he was. So he might be injured. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. When Rashford and Bruno don't score or assist, they look bad. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. To be fair, that goal should have stood. I don't know why it's disallowed. I think he was like minimum like offside. If he was asking Iglesias to spend money, is asking your husband divorcing his wife to bring her on a romantic vacation. Why? Well, it's not about that. We can get loans in it. We need loans. So obviously they said they're not going to be able to spend. We need loans. So it's going to be loan. So it is what it is. Big up to every one of you. Yeah, McTominay. I don't know what he was doing. McTominay is injured as well. So that's what we have now. We've got McTominay injured. Donny van de Beek out for the season. And then we have Erikson and Cruches tonight. That is what's clouded the game tonight. We're through to the next round. We're still in 4 competitions. But Man United are in crisis in terms of midfield and injury. A 17-year-old Kobe Manu is not ready. And even Palestri tonight, even though we want him to give him more games, but these are developmental players. So listen, before we go, just want to shout out to you and everybody. But Malcolm, let me know. Get in the comments, people. What other player do you think we can loan from the top clubs in Europe? Let us know quickly. Get in the comments, people. Kessie, Locatelli, we're never going to get Locatelli. Rabiot, will you guys take Rabiot on loan for the rest of the season with those wages? No chance. Malcolm, will Man United sign any player in the next 3 days?
Next 3 days. It depends. It depends on how. I think it just depends on how we move. You know what I mean? How we start, because right now players are moving around left, right, and center. So it's gonna be really interesting to see whether it's gonna be really interesting to see how we react to these sort of transfers happening around right now. But honestly, I don't think I'd see a player coming in right now unless if there's talks ongoing right now. But as of right now, I don't think we're getting anyone.
Wow, that's where we are.
Yeah,
that's what Man United have done to us.
Yeah.
We know that Man United move like slugs, like literal slugs. They move like slugs. So in the next 3 days, it's going to be a loan. It doesn't take a lot to get a loan through. Can we get a loan? Can we get a couple of loanees? We need 2. We don't need one because now he's injured. He's injured, isn't it?
I mean, you can look at. I mean, just we have to react fast, I mean, because like you can say it's not easy to. You can say it's not hard to get a player on loan, but it's kind of like it's Man United, so you can't they try and make it hard for themselves, and then they end up even paying a ridiculous amount of money just for 6 months. But yeah, that's just where we are right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, big up Beef Bully. He says Northern Martial Rashford, when they come back, there could be a good combo with Anthony behind. Yeah, there could be. It could be. That's a good shout. That's if Bruno ever got injured. I think we might have to try that. Might have to inquire about Kessie. Yeah, 100%. We're gonna have to. That's the only player that I can think of. Gravenberch, he's still young. He's developing as well. Obviously, playing in that league, it's a better league than Eredivisie, more quality, and he's on the bench. So can Erik ten Hag ring him and say, listen, if we try to get him, can we get him? Pogba would love to play next to Casemiro, get him back from Juve. Lol. I don't think that's happening. Though. But stranger things have happened in football. Stranger things have happened. Rambo's injured. Oh, okay. It is what it is, guys. Listen, that's been your match reaction, which has been overshadowed by the midfield injury crisis Manchester United have, and that's what it is. It's the midfield injury crisis. in midfield. So Donny van der Beek out for the season. Scott McTominay injured today, or I don't know, maybe he's sick or whatever it is. And Erikson on crutches. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Man United have got 3 days to go and try the loan. Kessie, Gravenberch, whoever player they can to get them to come to Man United for the next 4 or 5 months. It is what it is, people. We'll be doing a more show. I think we'll be discussing that tomorrow. On Monday with Saeed. But if I can think of anything, maybe we'll do a show tomorrow. Hussein Anwar, but he's more of an attacking player. He's more of a number 10. We've already got Bruno. Unless we drop Bruno back into deep, and then maybe we might have to do that. Get somebody who's like a number 10, proper number 10 up the pitch, and then drop Bruno back into where Erikson plays. Maybe that'll be something to try, people. But big up, HK Musa, thank you for the super chat. Big up, everybody. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and we'll see you on the next one. But before you go, make sure you give Malcolm Chiesa at Twitter, give him a shout. The channel, he's working on it. He's working behind the scenes to try to get the channel up. But when it goes live, we'll be letting you know. And please go and subscribe, follow Tom Journalist 1. It is what it is. There we go. We got this for Anwar is injured. He's had a horrid record for a while now. So yeah, Glazers out. Big up Nate. Long time no see, Nate. Big up to every one of you. Love and light, people. Big up Arian Tenno as well. Just got back from OT. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. The breaking news that tonight is Scott McTominay was apparently injured. Erikson's on crutches, Alien Tenno. Donny van der Beek is out for the season. In 3 days, can Manchester United loan to the Glazers, the bankers, and Murta loan players in 3 days? Can we find 2 loan midfield players in 3 days? Can we? I don't think so. But anyway, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Glazers out, bankers out. And to me, if Man United don't get at least 2 midfield players in the next 3 days, that means the board, the owners have wrote off the season. That's what they've done. Good night, people. Peace, love, light. Take care.